G'day DoomTubers, Doomwaves back here with another brief game discussion. Today we're talking about Singularity on the PlayStation 3. I'm actually not sure if this is on Xbox. This might actually just be a PS3 exclusive. But I could be wrong. Probably wrong. But that's okay. It's happened before. This game was a lot of fun. I picked this up really recently for pretty cheap. I think I paid all of like $8 and some change for this, and I was kind of scared when I first picked it up because my disc actually had a few minor top scratches on it, so I wasn't actually sure that I was actually even going to be able to, for one, play the game, or two, it was going to play partway through and then just lock up and I wouldn't be able to finish it until I got a new copy, neither of which was the case, thankfully. I did play the game to completion, and it was a lot of fun. I'll preface this whole thing by saying I'm well aware that it's probably not the best looking or best controlling game in the history of games, but for me it was a lot of fun, and I really liked the kind of gameplay aesthetic and the controls and the way it worked. There were some frustrating times, but overall I managed to get through it. And of course, you know, I played it on a lower difficulty, so I imagine if you were playing this on a slightly higher difficulty, some of the controls would maybe be a little bit more cumbersome. But overall, I think it's you know, decent, I guess. It's a Raven Software game, which is awesome because I love Raven Software, and published by Activision. And I've heard my friend SNESMapper also did a review of this game, and he kind of goes over a pretty good description of the game. And I pretty much agree with him in saying, you know, it's possibly more Activision's fault than Raven Software, that some of the aspects are really kind of lackluster. Maybe they rushed the game, or they didn't quite have the budget to make this, you know, that really AAA standout game. But overall, I think they did a pretty good job with what they had. First and foremost, I will say I haven't finished BioShock. And I know that this comparison's been made before, but this game is a lot like, to me, it played a lot like BioShock, the first BioShock, and a good mishmash of BioShock and Red Faction Armageddon, which I love that game too. It's a third-person shooter, but and I forget what the device is called in Red Faction Armageddon, but the player has a similar kind of device in this game. Instead of like actually like making things like in Red Faction Armageddon, the device could actually create things, like create a stairway where there wasn't a stairway before, and also repair things. And in this case, the TMD, the time manipulation device, just ages forward or backward something that's already there. So say it's a perfectly good stairway, or it's, you know, the remnants of a metal stairway. You use the TMD to manipulate the time to a time for that stairway when it was in good shape. But you can also use that same technology to kill enemies too, age them to the point where they just turn to dust. You know, it's kind of a cool mechanic, and it's also got another feature when you upgrade it a little bit later on, that it sends out this little orb that slows down, like almost instantly, just stops everything in its tracks, and you have time to kill it before they kind of attack you. And without ruining a lot of story plot points with it, you're fighting a combination of soldiers and creatures, and the creatures, I think, for the most part, were once human, that sort of thing, you know, and whatever radiation from this element E99 that was discovered, and that's what makes this technology possible, has mutated these people as a result of an industrial accident, you know, back in the 50s. And so in that, you know, in that same vein, you spent a lot of the time in the game, kind of going back and forth from current day to the 50s and changing things and trying to prevent the catastrophe that happened. And so yeah, I mean, while it's not the deepest story in the world, you know, it all takes place in this island called Katorga 12 off the coast of Russia, and it's all from a Russian perspective, pretty much. You're an American soldier, but you're in a Russian installation. They've discovered this E99 element and created a technology that's hundreds of times stronger than the atomic bomb and that sort of thing. So it's a kind of a, it's just a typical military story with a little bit of, I don't know, I guess you'd call it fantasy mixed in with the time travel aspect, and of course the cool, I don't want to call it science fiction, but yeah, science fiction elements of the time manipulation and things like that. So I can say with honesty, if you enjoyed BioShock, at some degree, and also you enjoyed the Red Faction Armageddon, or if you're just a fan of first-person shooters in general, I think this is a really good game. Like I said, I'm not going to say it's the best one out there because, quite frankly, I haven't finished BioShock, so I can't really say, but I know that Red Faction Armageddon is better than this. I liked Red Faction Armageddon considerably more than I like this, but I did really like this. And it's short enough. I think I finished it in like less than 10 hours. I really don't know, because the game didn't have an in-game clock or a save time or anything like that. So, and it isn't really separated by chapters either, so it's kind of hard to keep track of where you're at. You just kind of have to just know that you're in the game somewhere at some amount of time. But I think it's a lot of fun. I definitely recommend it. It does have a multiplayer function, and I jumped on there a little bit. Actually, I jumped on there first to see, just get the hang of maybe some of the controls before I jumped into the actual game, but I didn't spend a whole lot of time, and there wasn't anybody online. I just jumped into a match where I was the only one in there, that sort of thing. Just messed around for a while before I started the game, and then I started it. And initially, I just kind of started it to kind of test the disc because, like I said, it did have those top scratches that I was a little bit worried about, so I wanted to test it. And then I kind of got hooked on it. It was a fun game, and I really enjoyed it. I don't know. There's not a whole lot to say. I probably only played about 3 sessions of the game. I played it one day last week, and then last night, and then today. And I pretty much plowed through it. There are some minor puzzle-solving elements. Not really straight-up puzzles, but there are some platforming things that you kind of have to do some problem solving and puzzle solving to figure out how you get yourself there using things that are in a confined area, and then also your TMD, time manipulation device, to restore or deteriorate anything from crates to doors to locks to electrical devices that power a door or power a crane or something like that. Some minor puzzle solving elements, and I think it's really, really worth your time, especially because, like I said, the price tag is about $8 for a used copy at GameStop. There's really not a whole lot of risk here. I mean, it's $8 for a first-person shooter that's got some cool elements that is a lot of fun. So if you're into that sort of game, I definitely recommend Singularity. And if you're a fan of BioShock and or Red Faction Armageddon, I think that you'll get a kick out of this game. So please check it out, or don't. Either way, I don't mind. But if you played the game, let me know what you think, and leave me a comment or something like that about the game, and we'll have a little chat about it. So, thanks for watching. Doomwaves out.